Number 16, we're gonna hit some content things now. Content refresh. This is really gonna be valuable, right? This is the idea of refreshing your existing content. And this is really essential for maintaining your content's relevancy, visibility, and effectiveness. It's also good for competitive niche considerations, right? Because a content refresh can be particularly important in highly competitive business areas. In fact, we're going through one of these right now with one of our clients who's had a website for many years, like 10 or 15 years. They've done a lot of stuff over the years that has been SEO friendly and SEO, focused. We took over about a year and change ago now, and they have a ton of content, both blog content and like on-page content. And we're looking at freshening it up, adding some new stuff, putting more of the other aspects in it we'll talk about in a minute into this content, just making it a little bit more relevant, a little bit more, impactful, throw in more calls to action and so on. So to prepare for this, you want to do kind of an audit, right? You want to review your existing site's content and identify what content can be condensed, refreshed, even removed. I mean, sometimes we have content that's just junk. It's way old or it's out of date or it doesn't belong. Get rid of it. I mean, one of my legal client, he used to have information about like, hey, there was a big truck accident in Tampa and it was like from 6 years ago. There's no value in that for him. He wants to get people to call him if they get into a truck accident, not to know that there was a truck accident on I-4, 15 years ago. What are we going to do with that? We're going to remove it, get rid of it. What about if we have a nice piece of content, but it's old, it's been sitting there a while. Maybe there's some things out of date. Maybe it's too optimized. Like the word Tampa is in like every paragraph or something. It might be over optimized. Well, we might want to refresh that, clean it up, make it better. Maybe expand it. Maybe we were only shooting for 600 or 800 words, and now we're going to go for like 1,200 words or so, right? So we want to identify what we can condense, what we can refresh, what we can remove. We want to prioritize as well by arranging that content that we have by urgency, right? And importance. Is it urgent? Because maybe it's out of date, maybe it's, the value isn't there anymore. Make it high, mid, low, maybe merge with something else, or maybe remove it. So, get a listing of your content, of your pages. You can use a spider like Screaming Frog or other tools to actually get all of your URLs and then begin a plan to, do these things. I actually did this for my own Tampa SEO website, which we're actually in redesigning right now. We're in the content refresh area right now. And we've got a bunch of stuff. Like I said, it's kind of old. I have some old like tweets. We used to do a thing where every time a tweet went out, it would send its information to the site and it would create a blog post of 120 characters, whatever it was, 120 characters back then, whatever, I forget what it was. And we had all these useless posts that were taking up space and it was junk. Delete them all, right? We had individual items that we do for on-site optimization. We had a page for keyword research. We had a page for link building. We had a page for content development. And we had a page for each of them. And each one was like, paragraph and a half. 10 years ago, 15 years ago when I launched the site, that's what you were supposed to do. Very niche, very focused. Now we're taking all of them and making one big, nice page with all the information of what's going on all in one place because that's what Google wants. So we want to take a cluster, organizing your content into related groups so that you can do better internal linking, better for your optimization, kind of, things that are related. You can cluster them, kind of bring them together, really helpful. And then devise a content optimization plan within your time and your budget constraints to get this done. This is super valuable. It makes a big difference, especially if you have an old website. A new website, you usually do this from the beginning, right? But an older website, 5, 10, 15 years or more maybe, you probably really need to get in there under the hood and look for a content refresh. Some of these life cycle factors, something we call acceleration, is content relevance can change rapidly, right? Depending on if you're in the business of SEO, for example, and you have stuff that's like, a couple years old, it's probably out of date. And it can change very quickly. So keeping that up to speed. There's limited shelf life, right, for some of these things. A lot of useful life of content is getting shorter and shorter and shorter as things kind of keep moving faster and faster. And then regular content requires regular refreshing and updating efforts. So we've got to have a maintenance factor going in here. There are some content updating essentials, not just about updating the facts, but also about updating your alignment, which is ensuring that your content matches the user intent, right? Remember, back in the day, all we got to do is have the keyword phrase on the page and do some other kind of neat stuff and you can get ranked. Nowadays, it's about user intent. What does the user want? What are they looking for? What drove them to search? What's their need? What's their pain? What's their reason for searching? Because every time you do a search, you search with intent every single time, whether it's to find the weather out, the temperature out, whether to find who's starring in a movie, whether to find out what the hell Google SGE is. You search with intent. And so you have a reason for searching, and we want to know about that reason. We'll talk a bit more about this later on as well. We want to make sure that we're doing this and updating these content. We want to make sure we're following the best SEO practices of the day. And we want to kind of stay competitive against new material on similar topics from the competition. So we want to kind of keep that moving as well. So the content refresh kind of covers all of that. And of course, ongoing content management. We want to engage in a continuous process of reviewing, updating, and optimizing to keep the content current and competitive. This, as I said, is a huge deal for those in older websites. You can also get improved relevance when you do this, right? This is how you can, you can improve your search optimization goals by getting improved relevance, right? Because search engines favor content that's current and relevant to the user. So updating it ensures that you continue to be relevant and valuable to your audience. Fresh content enhances your user experience, right? It improves engagement by providing more accurate, useful information, which can lead to longer visits, right? More time on site, lower bounce rates. People don't leave so quick or move to other parts of your site. And those are positive signals to the search engine to say your site's valuable, it's useful, people like it, they're engaged with it. That's all great. You can increase your crawl frequency, right? Regular updates on your website prompts the search engine robots to come back, crawl, and index your website more frequently, which increases the chance of your content getting found more quickly and getting ranked higher in search results because Google sees you as a provider of frequent information on the topic that helps users and is relevant and whatnot. Again, it gives you the content refresh can help you incorporate the latest high-performing keywords and remove any outdated terms that are no longer necessary or no longer being searched for. And that can improve your content's visibility as well. It has a boosted content quality. By updating your content, you can improve its quality, the depth of the content, the value it's providing your users, and all that's, again, key factors in the engine's considering when ranking your content. And lastly, you can address any algorithm updates when you're doing a content refresh, right? The search engines are constantly evolving and changing what's important and what's less important. So by refreshing your content on not want to say a regular basis, but at least taking a look at it, it can help you adapt your existing content to these changes to maintain or improve your existing SEO standards. So content refresh is super easy. It can also reduce content redundancy, right? By looking at all the content, you can remove or you can consolidate outdated or sometimes duplicate content that's on other pages, because that happens a lot too. If you have a site that's been around for a bunch of years, you may have hundreds of blog posts. Well, maybe you've written kind of the same blog post kind of multiple times, or you've got 2 or 3 blog posts that individually are like 600-800 words, but if you combine them, you get 2,000 word article about everything you need to know. It'd be much better to have a single, more comprehensive article that's fresh and up to date and have multiple. So you can get rid of some of the redundancy that's out there, have this this content that's focused on one topic and not split around among multiple pages. You have better internal linking. By refreshing your content, you have the opportunity now to create more effective internal links, right? Linking the pages of your website to other pages of your website. And that helps distribute your authority of your website throughout your site and gets your users to some other additional, more relevant content. By clicking on those links within the body of your site, they move on to other places and they get more information. It's also great for link building opportunities, right? If you have high quality, updated, fresh content that's got great information. Again, I kept telling you about that article from the agency. That I was like, it was great. It was awesome. I'm telling you, I'm gushing about it, right? Why? Because it was fucking awesome. Pardon my French. It was great. I was like, damn, this is really, really good. And, that's the kind of content that gets people to link to it, to talk about, to share it. And that's what you want to do. So you're going to get high quality updated content. It's more likely to get a backlink from other reputable sites. And getting backlinks to your website is a big component of doing well in ranking in SEO. Make sure your content refresh also ensures that your site's content is optimized for mobile users. Sometimes you find an old page on your website and you go to it, maybe it had a table on it that was too wide for the page. Maybe you had a really big image that's kind of too wide for a mobile device or not mobile friendly enough. And that's important. Mobile friendliness is a huge ranking factor, especially for Google. And you can make sure as you're going through your refresh that it's still staying there. And then, of course, you can enhance and update your metadata, your titles, your descriptions as well. maybe focusing on some more of the more prominent keywords these days, and maybe have some better calls to action in there. All makes a difference. So by regularly updating your content, you not only keep your audience engaged, but you also bolster your website's SEO, which can lead to higher rankings, more traffic, and ultimately better conversion rates. Another great article that you can read to that I did a lot of pulled from a lot of information from was from SEMrush, which is an awesome tool and website out there. And their blog has the future of SEO. Again, great article, a lot of information there as well.